Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us once again on the KIS show. My name is Riki Akbarubari, and my co-host, Tolu Alope Okerinde, is with me in the studio today. Hi, Tolu.
Hi, Riki.
How you doing?
I'm very well. It's nice to be here again.
Exactly. It's actually very cool in the studio today. So we are just enjoying ourselves, and we hope that you enjoy our conversation with us today.
We hope
So
so.
going through social media this morning, I saw a post online, and a lady was ranting about a breakup with a boyfriend, and the guy bought a lot of things for her, and immediately after the breakup, the guy asked for everything he bought for her. You get, and a lot of people were sharing their stories. So this question now is to the guys: do you think it's nice to collect back gifts that you've given to your ex-girlfriend? Maybe after the breakup, you want to collect everything. In fact, I think the guy bought her a bed, a stove, a lot of things. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people were commenting that how would the guy buy you a stove, for crying out loud? As a lady, are you not supposed to have, a sense of maturity or this self-confidence? How will you allow a guy buy practically everything to the extent of stove? Someone was like, stove of 3K. You can't afford it for yourself. Now, is it the fault of the lady that she received those gifts, or we can blame the guy that, oh, you shouldn't have done that, you should be man enough to just let everything go?
So you want me to weigh in on this?
Exactly. What's your thought? Do you think it's actually nice to collect gifts back?
Okay,
basically,
we actually don't know the exact I mean, this
scenario. What happened?
We can't just isolate the view of one of the partners,
exactly,
and give a sound judgment. I mean, we don't know the exact context.
But I'm just saying generally.
I believe that for the guy to have decided to take back all that he had given the lady, it is how he chooses to handle the situation. I don't know the reason for that, but I don't see myself doing that if I'm in that kind of situation. And for the lady that been asked to return all the gifts she had received, well, sorry, it's your loss. I hope you've learned your lesson. The truth is you have to be responsible for yourself. As an adult, I want to believe she's matured enough to be in a relationship. And for every relationship you're in, you don't expect that the other person will have to be the one to cater for all of your bills.
Yeah.
You should be able to at least take care of some of your, like some of your needs and foot your bills yourself. And also, I also strongly believe that the guy didn't get her everything. He may probably give her money to buy those things, but not that he bought stove or the mattress. It's funny, but these are real life issues. It happens. Well, I don't know. I'm even weary of receiving gifts without knowing what your intentions are.
Yeah.
I'm really weary. I mean, I don't know. It is just what it is. So sorry for the lady. I'm so it feels awkward. Like,
yeah,
you know what? I'm breaking up with you.
Give me that phone back.
No.
Exactly. All right. So my own one cover to this issue is that please don't be the receiver alone. No matter the kind of relationship you find yourself, it doesn't have to be a love or a romantic relationship.
It doesn't have
Probably
to.
Between siblings, colleagues, just people around you. Don't always be the receiver. Have time. Yeah, exactly. Have the heart to give. Don't just be the one that will always receive, no matter how small it is. Learn to give so that it's not like you are the one that's like the pest or the parasite in the relationship. Exactly. And people would always, when they see it, they just know that, oh, she's here to beg for something, or she's always receiving, she's not giving me anything. There's just this bad vibe and energy that comes with always receiving and not giving anything at all. All right, so for today's conversation on the KIS show, we have something very, very important I would like to pass out to the general populace. And we are having a guest joining us for the show today. You won't want to miss the conversation. That's the topic, and also the guest as well. So we'll go for a break right now, and when we come back, you will know what we'll be talking about. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back from that break. Well, it's still Keep It Simple, and today we are discussing children's rights and welfare. Joining us for the conversation is Mrs. Dorcas Osho. She's the National Officer of the Children's Evangelism Unit of the Gospel Faith Mission International. Thank you so much for joining us, Ma.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, she's looking so nice, and I like her attire as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank
How have
you,
you been, Ma? How's the family?
I thank God we're doing great.
Good to have you here. So I would like you to properly introduce yourself and other things you do aside from being the National Officer for the CEU in GOFAMINT.
My name is Dorcas. I am Mrs. Dorcas Osho. By the grace of God, I am an author. I have books I've authored to God's glory.
Wow.
Mostly my material is on children and parents, children, parenting, on Bible materials, teaching, spiritual teaching of our children. And I go to schools to minister to children on the assembly. I do outreach to children and teenagers. We have edition for December. We have the edition for long vacation. We are planning one that they will do towards the ending of August before they begin to resume back to school. I have a school of my own by God's grace. Even though the financial stress posted by the parents are still giving me a headache.
Oh, Lord.
I'm trusting God to help me to know how to handle that one.
Wow.
And, to God's glory, I do monthly children and teenagers, you know.
So it's safe to say that you've been in children ministry for long now.
By God's grace, I've been long in children. Anything about children, it gives me joy.
Wow,
Right.
that's actually very nice. It's actually, sometimes when I see children teachers, I just give them kudos because, handling children is a whole ball game entirely.
Yeah.
If you're not a patient person, if you're not calm, you can't even handle them because they can really be, a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, but that's just by the way. So in 1989, the United Nations actually signed the Convention of Children's Rights, which is to promote children's rights and to protect children as well. While in 2003, Nigeria actually signed it into law, which is the children's rights. But today in Nigeria, we have a lot of things affecting children as a whole. We have, children have gone into begging, sleeping on the roads, hawking, carrying load, doing a whole lot of jobs that are meant for adults.
Yeah.
You see children in the marketplace, on the streets, doing what an adult should be doing, whereas they should be in school. And this is just what has informed our conversation for today, which is children's rights and welfare. Are we really looking into children's rights? Because they say that children are the future, or they're the leaders of tomorrow. Do you think that children's rights and welfare is really taking the proper shape, is really taking the proper position in Nigeria?
Well, I cannot say it's taking proper shape. The law is there in place. But to implement it is what I am expecting more efficiency. It's not yet adequately implemented. Like when you see the children begging on the road, I feel for them. And they have their parents. Some parents even use these children to go and beg for them to have their, their economic issue resolved. It shouldn't be so. To my own opinion, if the government put some disciplinary steps in place against people that violate the rights of the children, I think the children of the nation will be well handled by the parents and by the society entirely.
All right, so I think that will bring me to the question that are children properties of their parents? Because, some parents would say, oh, they are my children. I have them a lot. I have 7 children, I have 10 children, I can do whatever I like. This one will do this one for me. They just share them as a property. This one, you are the one that will bring money. You're the one that will, they just have a way of assigning roles of money-making roles for some of these children. So our children, do you think that it is wise to say that children are properties of their parents?
In my own opinion, some parents misconceive it by assessing their children to be their property. Children are never property for the parents. their responsibilities.
Wow.
God give the children to the parents to take care of them. Children, the Bible calls them heritage of the Lord. And I know other religions believe that children are owned by God.
Yeah.
God just give them to you so that you care for them. You train them more. There are a lot of training you need to give to your children. Physically, you need to train them how to be themselves and develop around physical development. The spiritual development is there. The social development is there. The mental development is there.
Exactly.
Children are there for the parent to cater for. They're there for them to guide. They're there for the parents to help them. But if the parent now see their children as property, that's why they ask them to go and involve in all these
exactly.
labor,
Some of them, they give them off as house helps, you know.
They even sell. So, in fact, I just pray that God will help the parents to be well informed. Some parents, because they lack information, they do what they like with their children. Somebody selling his or her own child. And there's maybe 300. I have one, maybe 300,000.
Wow.
And selling your child out. Some give the children out that they should go and live with people, and they don't know what happened to them at the expense of the future of these children. I remember my own time. It's God that rescued me too from destiny killer.
Wow.
Some children, the devil has seen that they have great future, and the devil will be looking for a way to tamper with the achievement of the plan that God has for the future of the child by making the parent to take wrong decision about the children.
Exactly.
When I was given out at my younger age, when I supposed to start my primary one, and the
you were given out.
Yes, the advisor came to my parents that they need money. They said of me to go to school. They have many girls. They should just give me out as a house girl so that they'll be collecting money. And it happened anyway. But when you go to the time of God to liberate me, when I saw their children speaking English,
I can imagine.
They'll be speaking English. I don't know what they're saying. So I felt so one kind that I made up my mind. I must go to school.
Yes,
so that
was after how many years? Seven.
I started my primary one around 13 years.
Wow.
So you lived with this person for how many years?
Actually, I lived from one person to the other. When I came to the house, they would still give me out to another person. But that was a time when I was about 12, 13. I ran out of the house. When they came to take me, I told the person I live with last that I want to go to my parents. I want to see my parents. When I got to my parents, and they told me this person will be coming. I should prepare my load though. When I had the person ping with the car outside, I ran out. I hid myself. I told my parents I must go to school. I will not live with anybody. I must go to school. And to God's glory, I started my primary one. I was going to 13 years. And it was not easy. When I go to the compound like this, all the children will be speaking, and they'll be clapping. Primary one.
That's so sad.
So awful experience.
But God really helped me. One of the people I live with anyway taught me ABC, ABD, 1, 2, 3. So many
foundational
things in education has been exposed to me. So that really helped me. Right from my primary one. My teacher, they make me the assistant teacher. And before I finished primary one, they promoted me to primary 3.
Wow, that's nice. That's nice.
So with the glory of God, the education helps me to be able to now stand my rights and begin to develop normally. What point led me to this story of my own? It's because some parents, they relegate their children. They're forgetting that there is a greater future ahead of the children. Without education, I won't be able to do anything in my life. If not that I have education, I will not fulfill my destiny. I know I will never fulfill purpose, but education is helping me. So it is, I would like parents to be informed that education will help their children, and they should not give out their children. They should give back to the number of children they can take care of. So that they can give their children the needed attention, give them education, get them to develop normally, teach them how to be socialized, mentally and all around that. They should allow their children to develop.
Thank you very much, Ma, for sharing that. So it's safe to say that the experience you had growing up is part of the things that propel you into children ministry. Like it's part of the thing that actually drive you to want to see other children do better now, to want to see that they are well catered for, to want to ensure that perpetrators of abuse on children are, you know, made to face the wrath of the law and all of those things. So it would be nice to say that this is what informed your decision to want to go in that career path. Can we say that?
It could be, because
okay.
when I met...
If it is, I would also like you to just use one stone to kill two birds. So in your years of practice, how have you helped your experience, you know, as a tool, as an instrument? How have you helped resolve issues where children are maltreated or abused, and you've been able to, you know, mediate and bring the parent to understand that I've been through it, but I am here because of these and these and these that I did better, or things that someone else saw in me and make me now to do better. So how have you been able to really help situations in recent times?
There are so many. Let me see, maybe one or two can come to my memory now. I remember that place where when I got there, where I have my school, a family had 7 sons, 7 boys in their family. And the firstborn steals, misbehave, stubborn. You know, if I see them at times like they wear rag and move about. To the glory of God, the mindset of the parent changed, and then even the children, they came closer. They are coming to the school. How much are they even? They are in school so much. The joy I have over the family is that the 7 of them are doing fine.
Wow, that's beautiful.
The firstborn lived with me at a time, and his life changed. He stole my money at a time. It was tough for me, but I have to forgive him and let go. So I thank God for that family. They are doing fine. I met a girl, and she lives with her auntie. So we did a counseling for them. We were doing one counseling topic one day like that. She was crying when we were talking. And when we finished, I beckoned on her, and I told any of them that need counseling to wait after the seminar. So when I talked to this girl, she told me that when her aunt's husband finished having sex on their bed, the man will leave the auntie on the bed and came outside of the curtain. They used curtain to demarcate the bed. So the uncle will come and lie on her too and have sex with her in the sitting room where she put her own sitting, whatever. And by the time she's now doing menstruation, she was having pain. Because of so many things we taught then. So she was able to see the problem, the genesis of her problem. She confessed and all that. So I told her, you will not live in that house again. Do you have mother? Do you have father? I counsel her, and I believe the life is better because it was a school setting. I don't know what happened. I think we were able to expose her to what.
All right, Ma, thank you so much for sharing that story for us. Actually, we actually pressed for time now. I just wanted to quickly share with us some of the rights of children. You understand some things that we feel that parents, caregivers, guardians should know that are the rights of children.
According to the Nigerian Child Law Act, as you mentioned the other time, every child that are under 19, they have the right to education. I pray that our government, the government of our own state, will be able to help the children better. Because at that elementary age, it's supposed to be in school. It's supposed to have right to universal primary education. Even if it's only primary education that the government can help. In my own time, I thank God that government helped me. When it was difficult for my parents to pay school fees, I think that was the reason they put me out. I enjoy free education in my own primary and secondary school. I enjoy free textbook, free education materials. It's really helped. I pray that God will bless our government. They'll be able to help the parents that are less privileged to be able to assist their children to have their elementary education. And the child should be given rights to express themselves, right to talk, right to the parents. They have their parents, and parents should take care of the children because it is the primary role of the parents to take care of their children. Whoever comes on board to help them is just by luck. Parents should have the number of children they can take care of. So they have right to education, right to protection. They should be prevented from sexual assault. Some parents, even fathers, sexually abusing the children the children have, the right to be protected from sexual immorality, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and all that.
So changes in the society oftentimes have negative impact on children. When we have climate change, digitalization, economic meltdown, and all of these things, in what ways are these changes affect the kids that we're talking about?
This generation, especially since last year, that COVID-19 has already affected the economy of all the families. Yeah. Some families, because they need to provide the essential needs, especially eating and drinking. So sometimes they'll be forced to ask their children to go and work.
Yeah.
It's not bad for the children to help, but they should consider the repercussion, the negative effect of sending the children to go and work and be even begging for them to come and feed the family. Parents should stand tall and be the one that will provide for the children, not the children going about looking for the economic means.
Sometimes the unemployment or underemployment can be part of the problem that the parents are facing, and that will have effect on how they cater for their kids.
Yeah.
And just the general well-being of their children. So what would you say to parents that are just really rearing, should I say rearing kids, like they don't even want to have foresight as to, this is the present situation of the economy, I should have the number of kids that I can
family planning,
easily cater for? What do you have to say as regards that?
I would like to encourage parents, especially the nursing home, those that are still in the age of having children. They should try as much as possible to do workable family planning. It's not a sin, even in the Christendom. When we do training for our children workers in churches, we train them, we have a topic that we train them about family planning. They should plan for the moderate number of children that they can effectively cater for.
So in cases where a child is being abused or violated, so who do we report to? Or who does the child, who does the caregiver report to, as in based on some of the cases that you've handled as caregiver?
If a child is
being abused,
yeah. If the child is being abused, if the child goes to school, in some schools there are counselors. When they report to the counselors that are well trained, is part of, they've trained them about the step to take as solution to a child that is being abused in their school. But if it is generally, like I met one in a church, she was 18 and just suddenly pregnant and born. She couldn't even know who pregnant her because many men slept with her. When I was there, the girl was so lucky that I asked the general overseer. The woman is my friend. So when we finished the service that day, she invited me to the church. So when I made the argument, I interrupted and they explained everything to me. To God's glory now, the child is doing fine. Because the baby and the girl, they are doing fine. In the home, the rehabilitation home, I refer them to. So there are non-governmental organizations that help in cases of any sexual abuse or any child molestation, any child that is wrongly handled, and they are looking for solution. If they consult the appropriate non-governmental organization, they are always there to help.
Well, thank you so much, Ma, for actually sharing your experiences with us and your thought as well when it comes to children's rights and welfare. All right, so I would like you to share your last words because we are actually very pressed for time. Your last word when it comes to children's rights and welfare, what people should know, what and people should take cognizance of. Exactly.
I want to play on the parents to give proper attention to their children. It is when the parent fails that society begins to abuse children. All children are products from one family or the other. There is no child that drops from heaven.
At all.
They are all from one family or the other. Parents especially should pay more attention to their children.
All right, so this is where we bring the program, the show to a close today. Well, it's actually been a very interesting time out with Mrs. Dorcas Osho. You know, she's shared her experiences, when she was growing up and you know how God helped her. She was able to go to school and become who she is today, taking care of children and you know giving out all her best, you know, to ensure that children's rights and welfare are properly taken care of in our own circle. So today, I hope that wherever you are, if you see a child, you know, that is not looking okay, please lend a helping hand. You know, one thing that some people fail to realize is that the care of a child is not only the responsibility of the parents. People around, neighbors, you know, people around are actually supposed to add their own contribution. Yeah, while we know that some parents are not really forthcoming when you try to correct their child, but if you can do it with love, you see a family that is suffering, you can, if you have the means, you can actually help out as well. Please don't leave a child that, oh, that this is a lost case or a gone case and nothing good can come out. Don't write any child off, because you never can tell what the future holds for such child. So we'll see you some other time. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.
Bye.